Hello to all of you in YouTube. My name is Danny, and I'm going to be putting out several videos per day. And hopefully some of this resonates with you, and maybe you'll learn something from it. Maybe I'll learn something from you. I don't know. I'm in a egg mode is what I call it. I'm not going to show my face at this present moment in time, but I will eventually. This video here is called The Three Witches and the Angel. Okay, I remember back to when I was 4 years old. I don't really recall anything when I was 3 or younger. But when I was 4, I was very shy, and I didn't want to sleep in my bedroom alone. But one night my mom took me in, and she left the room, and I was there for about an hour, and these three witches came through the window. Now, I didn't know what a witch was at that time, and it wasn't some black caps and black capes and brooms and all kind of things like this. They were beautiful. They weren't riding on any brooms. They just came through my window, and they were carrying paint cans and paint brushes. And they came into my room and started painting my walls black. And I climbed under my bed, and I was scared. And I looked out from under my bed, and there was this angel that had to have been 14, 16, 18 foot high. He was tall. He had golden blonde hair, and he was wearing like a three-piece suit almost. Anyways, he was looking towards them, and he pointed his finger at the window. And the oldest of the three witches, I would say the older one was in her early 40s, and the two younger ones were in their late 20s, early 30s. Anyways, the older of the three looked at him and then contacted the other two, and they went back out the window just as fast as they came through the window. And then the angel turned towards me, and I looked again, and he was gone. And I started crying out to my mom. She came in the room. I told her the story. And of course, like any mom, she probably thought I was having a bad dream or something like that, and excused it as such. But in 1993 or 94, my mom was reading a book, and this guy was describing exactly the same thing that I told her that happened to me. And so I investigated it, and I found out that not only was it fear-based, they marked me. The witches had marked me because I had a higher calling. Now, the color black represents death, of course, because we wear black whenever somebody dies. Or it can be fear-based. And my grandmother told me, even when I was young, it was like I had a black cloud over me at all times, because I had a lot of bad instances happen to me. And every time that I worked at trying to get into what I was called to do, somebody would just come along all of a sudden and just take the whole thing away, distract me, and I would become involved with them somehow or another, whether it be a friend or a lover, girlfriend, wife, whatever. And so it never worked out for me, and I never could find out what it was that I was supposed to be doing. And so the years went by, the decades went by, and finally I discovered it. And now that I know it, I'm going to share it with you. I basically wear many hats as far as my spirituality is concerned. I have many gifts from God because I have been faithful and loyal towards that. I always listen for what it is that He's wanting to say to me, when to do it, and how to go about it. And when you put Him first, of course, you're going to get back exactly what it is that you want out of the situation. A lot of people out here have gifts and they don't even know how to acquire them. And some people don't even know that the gifts exist, so they don't try to find out what it is. And so God appoints different people that have accepted their gifts to get even more gifts because of this, because He has an agenda that He has to fulfill, and there's just not enough people to give the gifts to because they're not looking for that. People are basically in competition at all times in this day and age. Even if it's between girlfriend and boyfriend, they're constantly trying to compete with you. And it's a roundabout circle, and nobody really gets anything done like that. But me, I found a way to honestly get into what I needed to get into. And I've been taking a lot of time keeping myself grounded and in tune with everything that's going on around me. You might have called me a bump on a log because I've not really been doing much of anything other than grounding myself and becoming closer and closer to God as I am grounding. I'm praying, I'm reading the Bible constantly. I'm getting information from Google and YouTube and everything like that. So I'm able to become who it is that He created me to be. And that's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. And you could also do this if you weren't wrapped up in the time that everybody has. You know, people get all messed up in work and, you know, their own personal lives, that they don't really try to find out what it is. What is it? What is it that God is giving me that I need to do in order to become who He wants me to become? And me, I was always that same way. I put all my time and effort into work and family and this and that, and never really sat down and said, look, I have a passion for what I want to become as far as God is concerned. Who He wants me to be. Not who I want to be, but who He wants me to be. And so I think it's better that you take some time off on your own and sit down and just listen to things that go on. And that's why I'm sitting here on this bench here. It's about 11 o'clock at night. It's kind of cold out here, but it's not too bad. And I'm just listening. I'm listening to what He has to tell me. Because ultimately, that's who's important. In any case, the three witches were blocking my knowing what my higher calling was. Plus, they marked me so that others that work for the devil will also know that and will come into my life full force and try to keep me away from doing what it is that I was called to do. So you really have to pay attention to what goes on around you and not get aggravated and angry over certain things that happen. Just let bygones be bygones. If you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and they're not really doing anything to help you whatsoever, then let them go. It doesn't really matter if you love them. You can love them from a distance. I have many past loves that are like that. I just had to let them go. Let them go to be themselves. Because they're always going to try to find a way to come back into your life to destroy what you already have built. And that is basically my first video. Thank you. Bye.